So yes, there is a lot of projects as of recent and a lot of scams and really good ones popping up. And a lot of people are actually making a killing investing in IDOs and more importantly into pre-sales. So in this video, I'm going to discuss how you can get involved and start making some profits. Now it's easier than ever now to make some good returns on your investment, but it's extremely important to keep a level head. So I'm going to actually compare the past, such as ICOs and STOs, to the current models of IDOs and pre-sales, all while explaining to you how you can invest and get out in time and make your profits safely. So let's get straight to it. Now I know there's a lot of OGs on this channel from 2016, 2017. And for those of you who don't know, back in my day, a lot of ICOs launched, but the problem with them is that they didn't have any responsibility. So they could propose a white paper and that's it. And then after, with the funds that they received, they can just list on a centralized exchange. This naturally saw many scams rise and investors get wrecked. As it was a new concept, many of us didn't know what to look out for, what a successful project should have, and in all honesty, many projects didn't know this either. Even tier 1 projects back in the day saw a lack of industry knowledge, development expectation, fees, legal, etc. This is exactly why now, 3 years later, we are seeing so many of the past projects come and actually deliver their vision. Anyway, not to move too much off topic, in 2020 and now in 2021, we're seeing a rise in IDOs and pre-sales, which are usually run quite close to the DEX listing. Now, for those of you who don't know, IDO stands for Initial DEX Offering, and a DEX is a decentralized exchange, for example, Uniswap. So most of these pre-sales will happen quite close to the actual official listing on Uniswap, which is where they usually do launch in the current day. Now, IDOs are miles ahead from ICOs, and there is one reason in particular which makes them so much better. The main reason is because the funds generated on pre-sales are actually used to lock up liquidity on DEXs, and I think personally that this system is so much better than listing directly onto a centralized exchange. This process requires a project to lock up an equal amount of ethereum compared to their tokens on the decentralized exchange, which in return allows the investors and the holders of their token to feel safe in holding it. And we all know that when a project launches, the more holders they are, the more the price will rise. So even if the team decide to run away, the liquidity will still be locked on the decentralized exchange. And you will, let's say, have enough time to sell and get out if you knew the team ran away. Now, whatever level of investor you are, if you're investing $100 or if you're investing 100 Ethereum and you're a venture capitalist, everybody always asks the same question. How can I find these projects early on, and how can I find them early on consistently? Well, to your surprise, there's actually quite a few projects which help smaller investors invest in pre-sales, and my past 2 videos I discuss those 2 exact projects, so I'll leave the link down below, or just watch my past 2 videos and then get back to this one. So now that you've seen those videos, in short, these incubator style projects focus specifically on helping startups launch a successful token sale. This is done by the help of their communities, and as they're all investors, this is a really good way to actually promote your startup to a large audience before you've even launched. It's so much better than giving the allocation for the pre-sale to 1 or 2 venture capitalists. It's so much better to have a large community investing smaller amounts. We all know my job is to first test the product and then deliver the video. So this is exactly what I did. I joined an incubator called duckdao. And the way you join these incubators is that you have to buy their cryptocurrency and then hold it. And the amount of their cryptocurrency that you hold will depend on how much you can invest into the pre-sales. So for example, with duckdao, if you hold 10 DDIM, then you're able to invest $100 per project. And if you hold 200 DDIM, then you're able to invest $500 per project. Obviously, the more you can invest, the larger your profits can be. Now, I've been with duckdao for roughly 3 months, and they have already delivered 40x and 50x projects. And in the past, they have done 100x projects. So if you're investing 500 bucks and you're making 100x, you're making 50 grand, which is crazy. This is a system that I think many people won't like, or they'll be wary of, thinking that maybe this is just a pump, maybe this is just, you know, hype, and they're utilizing the community to hype these projects, which is a fair thought, because we're all wary in this industry. But at the end of the day, we are not venture capitalists, and we don't have enough funds to invest in these projects alone. And there's a lot of safety precautions for newer investors and even experienced investors, which these incubators provide. The main benefit being that these incubator projects will do the background checks on these pre-sales. This is something which a lot of people are not able to do. They don't know what to look out for. They don't know the technology. They're not sure about the people who are behind the project. So as a new investor, or as an investor who's not able to do this and doesn't have enough money to apply for these pre-sales alone, this is the perfect way of doing it, because they do the background checks. They explain to you how you make the investment, and all you do is you hold their token. And alongside this, something a lot of people actually miss is that just being a part of these groups, you find out about these projects before anyone else in the industry does. So you're always one step ahead. Many of you won't be able to actually join these incubator groups because the entry fee is pretty high at this current moment. So I've found a few other ways that you can take some time out of your day to research and find potential pre-sales without having to be a part of these incubator groups. So Polka Starter and Moonbeam, for those of you who don't know, these are pre-sale platforms and also startup platforms and Polkadot integration platforms. This means that, for those of you who don't know, Polkadot is going to be the powerhouse. Many people think it is the next Ethereum. And I actually did a video comparing Ethereum 2.0 with Polkadot. And the gist of it is that Polkadot focuses on quality instead of quantity. So only quality projects are joining Polkadot, and this is what you should be keeping an eye out for. I'll leave the link down below to both of those websites. And the way that you should be looking at it is you look at current partnerships, new projects on Polka Starter, and then you find the websites to these projects, find the communities, and sometimes you might be lucky and you might be in time for pre-sale. Aside from this, I've had a look at some other ways, and some of these are actually pretty old school and they do actually work, but some of them are a bit outdated. But here are the list of them and some things that I think you should still consider in doing. So I'll go through this list pretty quickly. Number one is you can go to LinkedIn and you can find freelancers in the blockchain industry and have a look at what they're currently doing. If they've in their project, their most recent project, and they've been there for a short period of time, potentially that's a project that's still not launched. Secondly, have a look at smaller blockchain and crypto blogs and news sites. Going on to Cointelegraph usually means that the news on there is too late for you to be involved into the pre-sales, but the smaller blogs and news sites usually publish these pre-sales early on. Yes, it's more difficult to find the not scammy ones, but sometimes you can find a needle in a haystack. Also, have a look at partnerships. A lot of people see a partnership, for example, Project X has integrated the Chainlink oracles and all they see is Chainlink, but you need to be looking at the other project because a lot of these startups will make partnerships and you can find these gems through these partnerships. For example, I found a project which partnered up with Axion called CNFI, which is Connect Financial. It's a credit card project, which is going to be the first credit card in the blockchain industry, which is so unique. And I've already made a 5x profit just by looking at the partnership the opposite way. I might make a video about that actually. And finally, I want to mention the things that really didn't work. And this is free services like websites, blogs, Telegram groups, which provide you information, free information about upcoming projects and pre-sales. And the reason this doesn't work is because they will get paid by these projects specifically to promote them. And anything that's free is honestly, it's just not gonna work. And even I know that there were a couple, ICO rating websites. I won't mention them, but even the people working for those websites rating upcoming projects, they were getting paid by those projects, and they were contacted directly by them. So that is something I would strongly suggest you stay away from. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this pre-sale overview of how to get involved, a couple options. I hope this really helps all of you. If it does, leave a like, leave a subscribe, and ask me any questions down below. It really does make me want to make more videos if you do. So if you made it this far, you're a fucking legend, and I've got some really cool videos coming up during this month. So keep an eye out for it, hit that bell button, and I'll see you on the next one.